Dorothy, what's up? Welcome. Kindness Jones, welcome. Coco, what's up, everybody?
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of My Marriage is Dope podcast. I am your host with the mostest, Shannon Austin, and I'm here with the lovely and talented and amazing and beautiful Coach Cheryl. What up, Coach Cheryl? You in the building?
He wants something from me. He putting it on thick. What's up, everybody? Welcome.
I don't have to put it on thick to get nothing from you.
You don't. It's already on thick, honey. It's already on thick.
Come on. I don't need
Yes.
Nothing. Do I need something? Is that what you're telling me? Listen, you already got, listen.
What?
Shout out to our TikTok and Instagram audiences who are joining us live behind the scenes.
Yes.
Just officially, somebody shot their shot at my wife, like on the live. Like,
really?
Like, you got the juice, man. For somebody to do that boldly with you sitting next to a handsome dude who you never might know who it is.
They respectfully asked if you were my husband, if
Right.
I was married.
But then they didn't have to follow up with what they follow up with. Tell me what they said. Because
oh damn, I was going to shoot my shot.
I was going to shoot my shot. Come on, man. Come on. I love it. I
know, because you're used to it. You're used to all that blackness and the women loving that beard and all that black and all that.
Any trouble that I got into.
You went looking for it?
We've experienced infidelity inside of this marriage. So we want y'all to know who you're dealing with, who you're talking to or whatever, right? So we both experienced infidelity inside our marriage.
Yeah.
But I just want to officially say that any trouble that I got into, I went looking for. Folks be hollering at you.
I've seen people holler at you. I've seen people look at you like,
who?
Ooh. You don't need to know.
You got to point them out to me.
No.
So I could, welcome
What's
back,
up, guys?
To a pretty kind of heavy, serious edition, but hopefully it's going to be fun. We can make it fun and interactive. Now, listen, we got to make sure that you guys, Instagram and TikTok, you guys are going to be with us only for a period of time, right? So we want you all to come over to YouTube, look for the channel My Marriage is Dope podcast, and like and subscribe, and come over and watch us over there because we want y'all to experience the entire episode, the Q&A that happened to Ask Shannon and Shirley. Ask Shannon and Shirley Q&A episode. So we don't want you to miss that. We're going to bring those questions out. And so we want y'all to come over and join us over there. So how you been, Mama? It's been a little bit, but how you been? I just want to check in with you just real briefly and see, how you doing?
Yeah, this week, last week, I had a really good week last week.
Actually. Okay. What made the week so good last week?
I don't know. I mean,
anything in particular, or
I had some few rough months, and then I spoke to my cousin, and she just helped me to get some clarity on some things, family issues, some epiphanies, and it was just a place for me to release. It's a safe space, and. Because I don't do that often. I don't do that.
No, you don't have that at all.
So,
Oh no. You don't take the opportunity. There are people out there for you, but you focus on other people before you allow them to focus on you.
I definitely have my girls who I know without a shadow of a doubt
would be there. Are there
hands down.
Are there?
But I don't. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that release, crying, talking, listening, it really helped.
Wow.
It really did.
Wow. We need that. We need those spaces. We need those spaces for a bunch of reasons. We need those spaces for accountability. We need those spaces for, people need the accountability. People need to tell us our shit stinks. You know what I'm saying? People need to let us know where we're erring, where we could do better. especially in marriage. In this marriage space, like people are very leery. They don't want to let people in their business. They don't want to, let people know when they're weak and they're vulnerable and they're frail. And there really isn't a space for us to participate in a really, really transparent way. And thank God that was made available to you. That was made available to you, man. I'm you know me. I wake up at 2 a.m, 3 a.m, and I got this. The Lord is just flooding me with ideas on how to enrich marriages. Yeah. And I feel a weight now. I feel a weight. Listen, guys, there are in this country, there is, I'm not gonna go too deep into what we're doing, but in this country, at least 650,000 marriages end in divorce every year. At least 650,000. Yep. Now, there's some people that jumped on here on Instagram. I hope they jumped over to YouTube, but it's some folks that logged off of this. People check in to see who's live, what you're talking about, is it saucy or whatever, and then they jump off a live or something like that. And so people jump on and off, and you can't take that personal as people in our position, right? Yeah. But I'm like, do you know you are jumping off how badly you the one that's jumping off that you need this information. Yeah. You the one right now that need to share information. Yeah. You need to share this. You need to share the live. You need to share the podcast. You need to share the YouTube. Like, you need to share that, and you need to be ingesting the content, because this applies to you. You jacked up. Yeah. Your wife or your husband is miserable.
The challenge is we are addicted to feeling good. We want something that's funny, something that's raunchy, something that embarrasses other people.
If we was on here putting all our sexual business out and rubbing on each other's and had OnlyFans and all that, we should maybe...
I could show my feet.
Why just your feet?
What you want me to show, my tail?
Well, hey,
You want me to put that out there?
That's what's being done. Like, everybody's trying to, like you said, have that really feel-good feeling. Yeah. But don't nobody want to do the work. Yeah. And then they want to know when it's time to, when divorce is on the line, when we start having these heavy conversations about ending a relationship. I
ain't going to hold you. I got something. I cut you off, right?
You did.
And listen. People can be offended if they want to be offended.
Okay.
And
let them have it.
As I've gotten wiser in age, I don't care, because I'm speaking the truth. And, we're doing this masterclass.
Right.
How low can we go with the doggone masterclass?
Please don't tell me somebody asked you, said that they couldn't afford it.
Somebody told me that they couldn't afford. I did not respond back. I'm sorry. This is killing me. It's killing me. And listen, whoever shows up, if it's 3 people in the masterclass, we're going to go hard for those 3 people, right? So I'm not saying this. I'm saying this to plant a seed in your mind.
Wow.
If you don't invest in your marriage, how is it going to grow to the next level? If you're not investing, you're investing in your home, in your children, in your vehicles, in your trips, in your clothes,
in your vices.
You can't do $27.79 for that. Our clients are paying thousands of dollars for.
Thousands.
Double-digit, 5-figure $1,000 for. We giving it to you for $79, and you can't. Man,
$79,
and that's for
this. This ain't even what we talking about, but this is what we talking about.
That just irritated me. It happened right before the class, and I just
right. And I'm sorry somebody hit you with that energy, because. So you did cut me off, but it speaks to. No, it speaks to where I am. Like, it's a weight.
Yeah, well,
it's a weight when I talk to brothers and sisters. and I don't use that term as a term for color. The brothers and sisters, human beings.
People. Right.
I talk to human beings, and they struggling. They're going through it. If 650,000 people were dying every year of anything,
that would be.
There would be all manner of stuff. There would be, they came up with vaccines in no time. They came up with, they built hospitals in convention centers.
Yeah.
Because a couple of hundred people died.
Yeah.
So we look at divorce as a family dying. Yeah. It's the death of a family. And you got 650,000 families dying a year.
No, you called it what? Something suicide. What did you?
Well, it's by murder or suicide.
Societal
suicide, right?
Yeah.
And it's really literally it's a pandemic of relationships that are ending, and nobody really cares. It seems. Yeah. It seems like nobody cares. It seems like nobody wants to do anything about it. There's influencers out there. There are people out there. They're out there in the trenches trying their best to help people. Some of them get discouraged, move on to singles and doing other things but it's a lot. Yeah. But we are bound and determined. Like we are going to maintain our hands on the plow, doing the work that is necessary. We'll be up at 2 or 3 in the morning working with couples, people that are close to us, people that are clients, and we're just it's in us to do it. We've been doing it since we were, you know what I'm saying. Yep. So anyway, let's get off our soapbox tonight. Serious topic, man. Character cancer. You brought this concept to me, and it blew my mind. It blew my mind because one of the main reasons why it blew my mind is because I'm a cancer survivor. Like I know what it's like. We know what it's like to sit in that office and for a doctor to say the C word. Like like they try their best to, be upbeat and positive about it. But my first diagnosis. Were you there? No, wait a minute.
They told you in the hospital. You came to the hospital and found out.
In the hospital. Like the doctor came in the room. Yes. You weren't there, which was very mean. And no, it wasn't mean. It was insensitive.
But the way he told you was
it was straightforward.
Very insensitive.
But yeah, it was insensitive. It was
he didn't ask you if you had family. Like he didn't, none of that.
Right. And so when you hear that word, it's devastating. But now when you hear the word and term character cancer, first of all, does it even resonate with you? Like, we're going to explain to you what it looks like, but the idea that your character can have cancer, what does that mean to you? That's what we're talking about tonight. And
are we going to delve a little bit into the relationship cancer?
Of course.
Okay. Because that thing is deep.
But still though, the relationship cancer, we can talk about that and delve into it, but you can't be cured of it if you don't deal with who you are.
No, the character is the foundation. That's yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But then when you say what it looks like, when you break that thing down, some people don't realize certain things that they're doing, that's a cancer. And so just being able to break that down, and that's where the relationship cancer comes in. It gives the details of what that looks like, the breakdown of that, character cancer. Which and the character cancer is, you guys, it is just, listen, we all have flaws, right? We all have room to grow, areas of healing that's affecting our character. But these deeply ingrained character traits that we carry around, that it's not just affecting forget about it affecting others. It's affecting you as a human being.
For sure.
Right? It's affecting your purpose, how you show up at work, how you show up as a spouse, how you show up as a parent, how you show up as a friend, a sibling, a daughter, a son. In every aspect of your life, when we are carrying these character traits, it plays out. And then we wonder what is going on in our life, why we are hitting roadblocks and why we're having a hard time connecting with people and why we can't keep a job and why we keep getting evicted and like all these whys. And it simply goes back to the decisions that you are making, and the decisions that we are making stems from our character, right? Like dishonesty. That's a character cancer. Right? So yeah, we look at, well, yeah, of course lying is a character cancer. But we don't even realize like the quote unquote little white lies. And over time, those little white lies, it really does eat at you. Like you talk about the, what are the things that eats wood?
Oh, termites.
Termites. You know what I'm saying? Like those little white lies are the termites in your life, right? And so you pick and choose, right? So, well, I'm going to be faithful with my tithe, but I'm going to lie on my taxes so I can get more money, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't going to cheat on my spouse, but I'm going to lie to get more money. You know what I'm saying? And we discount that and think, oh, it's no big deal. Everybody does it, right? But listen, Shannon says all the time, what do you say? How you do one thing is how you do everything.
I got that from somewhere. It's not mine, but.
Right. But that principle, the principle of that thought process, right? It will spill out. You may only be cheated on your taxes, but if you keep doing it, you are creating something in your brain to say where it's comfortable or where I think I will benefit, I will lie. Character cancer.
That's a sign and symptom.
That's a sign and symptom. You know what I'm saying? What is something that...
So let's talk, like, metaphorically speaking, character cancer, it just refers to like this deeply ingrained just bad character traits. Stuff that just helps to erode personal integrity, relational integrity. Like it is just, it eats away at the fabric, right? And like you alluded to the termite damage and water damage is both damages that happen slowly over time, unless there's a flood. But you're never going to really see an infestation of termites. At some point in time, it's going to come time for you to sell the house. You've been in it for 10, 15 years, and then all of a sudden they're going to say, "Oh, you got termites," right? And so, but these signs and symptoms of character cancer don't just like when you dishonest over just you ever met the person that lie for no reason? Like it doesn't really benefit the situation. It's just y'all just having a normal conversation. What you do for the weekend? Oh, I didn't do nothing, but they was out partying or doing something and just saying, "Oh, I just was out having a good time."
Well, what people don't understand about lying, y'all, the brain is so deep. Initially, when we lie, right, when people start to lie, it is a very conscious thing, right? So for me, when I started lying at a young age because I had to hide. I started getting molested, and so I had to hide, and so I had to lie, right? That was conscious. I had to be very conscious. I was very aware when somebody said something, what was the next thing I was going to say? Very aware. Then you get to a point where now you have to be conscious to not lie.
You done told so many lies.
You done told so many.
You got to be aware
it's a part of your DNA. You understand? Now, I thank God, and you could attest to this, not that I've not lied, but I'm just not a liar. That's just not me. But there are some people where they lie so much they believe, they speak it like it's the truth. Right? So you have to now be conscious to say, okay, stop. What was it that was asked of me? Right? No, for real. Like, what was it that was asked of me?
What you say now? What was the question?
What was the question again? Okay, yes, I went out this past weekend. Like you have to do it. You have to retrain your brain. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And listen, hiding the truth is lying.
Hiding the truth is lying.
Hiding the truth is lying. Right? Being like, oh, I'm gonna go spend this money. Knowing me and my spouse said we was not going to spend no money without coming to each other. Come on, that's lying. And you think it's so small that it's not going to make a dent, but it is absolutely. You know why it's going to make a dent? Because if you have a half of a heart, you're going to look your spouse in the eye and you're going to say to yourself, damn, I done spent that money. I lied to my wife. I lied to my husband. So now you are filled with guilt and shame. And the crazy thing is, the guilt and shame that you have, that you did, you will begin to treat your spouse as if they did something.
Oh, stop it. Now, we ain't come here for all of this now, Coach.
Telling you.
So you will now begin to reverse.
You will now,
and flip it on your spouse because of the shame, not because you're trying to get necessarily the attention off of you, but because of the shame and guilt you feel. I remember you said that on, shout out to our brother Jeremy Anderson, the Next Level Living podcast. You said that men had egos, but women had a problem with pride. Is that what you said? And shame and guilt. Shame and guilt. And to try to overcome that type of overwhelming feeling, one of the only ways to get that feeling off of you is to put the attention on someone else.
That's right.
And that's a sign and symptom of character cancer, is deflection, not taking ownership of something that is going on, something that there's a tiff, there's a rift in what's going on in your day-to-day, or something's bothering somebody. And instead of, and you know you did something. You know you did something. But you put the attention on them and deflect it from yourself. I'm gonna need you to silence your notifications.
Oh, sorry. Another big character cancer is irresponsibility. Man, that not being reliable. You're talking about your spouse not trust you. You don't gotta go out here and cheat. You don't have to lie. Just be doggone responsible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't trust your word. If you say, babe, I'm going to pick up thus and so for you, and then you come home without it, but you come home with whatever you have for yourself, like, just that level of irresponsibility, not thinking about what is important to your spouse. Over time, these are the things that erode our relationships.
I was eroding the hell out of our relationship because I was irresponsible in a lot of ways. Taking money and spending it with the nudie hoes. That wasn't good. No. Right. Going to the little spots but people don't see that. If you listen, I'm not trying to take no money out of the strippers. They doing what they got to do to take care. Whatever's going on, stripping. You got an OnlyFans account. You do like whatever. All right. I'm not trying to take nothing away from you, but it's people, not just men, but it's men and women taking billions of dollars out of their families' coffers. You know, not, I mean, collectively, you know, family to family to family. It's compounded. And they're taking it to those places. And more often than not, they're not telling, you know, they feel like, hey, I work hard and I should be able to release and relax and you know, all these other things. But you're not disclosing how much you making it rain in the club. And so you think that it's nothing. Oh, it's just my thing, or it's you know, it's a small amount of money, or it's not that big of a deal, or I get to have fun, I work hard. It has nothing to do with that. It is, one, the irresponsibility, and then two, the dishonesty. You're hiding the fact that you're doing this. Now, if y'all going together, that's that's another thing. You know, if you want to put Magic City as a line item on your family budget, but that's on y'all. But have a discussion about it, budget the money and put it aside, and then now everything is above board, and you don't have to worry about these negative aspects of what that could be, eroding away the fabric of your relationship, of your marriage. Now, I don't want to throw you under the bus, but when we were dating and a little bit in our marriage, you was a tad bit manipulative.
Oh, I was.
In certain ways.
Yeah.
And it was like, I know I'm not crazy, y'all. I would think, am I crazy?
You weren't crazy, but I was manipulative.
Right. Well, you know. Right. And I would say, what the hell is going on? Why? I know I heard what I heard, or I know I saw what I saw, or I know, you know, I experienced what I experienced. And people will make you feel like, that wasn't me. I didn't do that.
Well, my manipulation was making you, from what I can remember, was not owning the something necessarily, even though many times I did be like, no, I didn't do that, what? Type thing, right? But making you feel like it was you. You know what I'm saying? Like, like blaming you for my...
Oh, yeah, I was there.
Right, you know.
Negress, I was there. I experienced it. And, but in all seriousness, it is this, and we wonder why later on down the road, we talking to each other crazy. You know, before it was, oh, boochie, boochie, boo-boo, oh, baby, 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 oh, sweet, sweet, sweet. And then all of a sudden, you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, 15, 20 years in, and your spouse is talking to you crazy, and you're like, who the are you talking to?
You know, someone asked, is it ingrained in us or adopted? And the reality is it's both. Right? When we're young and we're sponges, we are learning how to process information in our little brain, not because somebody's teaching us, right? So we see patterns, we experience patterns, we feel patterns, and we're like, okay, I need to lie, because if I tell the truth, somebody gonna get hurt, or if I tell the truth, I'm gonna get in trouble, or right, or I need to put my wall up because every time I go to give mommy a hug, mommy pushes me away, so I can't go give mommy a hug, so my wall goes up, right? Those are things that have been ingrained in us over time, but things that, like the person used the term adopted, it is because as we get older and we have new and more mature experiences, certain things that affect us, that do not feel good to us, in our mind, we say, oh, this is how I need to handle thus and so that I can protect myself so I don't get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Or so I don't feel whatever that feeling is that you feel that you don't like, you don't want to feel it. 9 times out of 10, we are going to create something opposed to just sitting in it, feeling it, let the feeling pass, create the right narrative around it, such as, you know what? That person hurt me. Why did that person hurt me? Right? It doesn't have anything to do with me 9 times out of 10. But if I take it personal that it has something to do with me, now something's wrong with me. And so, you understand? I create safety zones and spaces right? So, man, so many, all of us are literally walking around with our little safety rooms that we go to. And depending on how we feel, we choose, okay, I'm going into that room, going into that room, going into that space. And it is just keeping us so disconnected from people.
Hey, listen, you are watching the My Marriage is Dope podcast. Listen, if you're on YouTube, hit that like button and subscribe button, and also hit the bell notification so you can know when we are going live with a podcast. And then make sure you're subscribing on whatever platform you're listening to this amazing information. Listen, Instagram and TikTok, we're going to be letting you go in about 5 minutes. You want to make sure that you come over for the rest of this conversation and the Q&A portion. You do not want to miss Ask Coach Shannon and Shirley. We're going to bring them out.
Woo! Bring them out.
And so the questions are, you got some good questions today? We'll see, huh?
Hey, we'll see. I got the questions that the people are asking.
Okay, well, we're going to deal with the questions that the people are asking. So make sure you come over to YouTube to My Marriage is Dope podcast so you can be a part of the Q&A segment. So let's talk about another symptom, right? And we're going to talk about the cure, right? The cures, what we can do for character cancer. But there's a couple that jump out. Aggressiveness and hostility, self-centeredness, even having a lack of remorse or guilt.
Oh gosh.
Like
yes.
I was talking to one of our clients, and the wife had shared some information and was feeling a particular type of way, and they were like, all right, well, they'll get over it. And I was like, oh, that right there, that's it. That right there. What you talking about? You don't care. So the lack of remorse or guilt or just not caring is a sign of a lack of empathy.
Yes.
And empathy is a cure or something that you could do to help reverse character cancer. It's empathy. And he didn't have it. He didn't have any of it.
Wow.
And but look, stop. He didn't know he didn't have it. When I pointed it out to him, he was like, what? What you talking about? What? And I was like, and I just explained and expounded and pointed and prodded a little bit. And he was like, oh my goodness.
Did he really not know?
No, he didn't know.
Okay.
And now this is the thing that helped me feel optimistic about their marriage. What made me feel optimistic about their marriage was when he realized what it was, he felt remorse. Like he felt like, oh, I got to do something about that because I don't want her feeling this way.
Yes.
And so, these things, not taking ownership, blaming others, bullying and intimidation.
Yes.
You a big guy and you raising up on your spouse, or as a woman, if you are taking your private sexual parts and like, oh, I'm just gonna withhold this. No, I'm not gonna give you none. No, you don't deserve none. Or no, you don't. I hate that. Oh, I hate that. Yeah. If I hate anything in marriage, it's the term
deserve.
No.
What?
I'm gonna give him. I heard a friend of ours say, I'm going to give him some. And I was like,
yeah.
don't be doing me no favors.
Yeah.
Don't do me, don't do me no favors and make me feel like, like you doing something for me. If you're not a participant and want to be involved in this process, then keep that stank stuff to yourself. I was almost about to cuss, but
two things that stick out to me, because it resonates with me personally, right? And I'm seeing it a lot with some of our clients and people that we talk to, that I talk to. And this is a challenge with you and I, harshness. I wish I had the video. Keon Henderson did a video short on the damage that harshness does to a woman. And that is a character issue. And so I just want to encourage all of us, right? Because even though a human being can be harsh, some things are harsh and it's quiet, right? There's silence and there's still harshness there. But man, that can really break a person.
But so then really define, drill a little deeper on harshness, because what is it, so that people will know? Because it could be tone, it could be being ignored, it's so many different things, but harshness is typically looked at as aggressive or harsh behavior, like harsh behavior, but it's not always aggressive, right? Would you agree?
Harsh is aggressive. Right. And there's a difference between aggressive and assertive. I don't mind you being assertive, because when you're assertive, you're being intentional.
But I'm speaking
aggressive is uncontrollable. Harshness is an uncontrollable response that you give.
So I'm speaking to, what if I just flat out ignore you?
That's what I said. That can be a form of.
Right. So yeah, I'm saying, like, speak to those forms. Because some people could be like, well, I don't raise my voice at all, but they just don't say nothing. Yeah,
that's another type of harshness. That literally using your lack of voice as a power tool.
So I'm going to punish you. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Or to let you know about how I'm displeased with your behavior or whatever. I'm just not going to speak to you.
And I cannot stand.
I'm not punishing you necessarily, but I am punishing you vicariously through my silence.
Yeah, subconsciously.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
And the other thing, now this one is big. And I use this. So, you guys know that we had infidelity in our marriage, right? So when Shannon stepped outside of our marriage, he was the first one to do it. And so when he would say to me, I feel, I don't like how you're being, you're not being a good wife, you're being disrespectful, whatever the case may be. I would have issue with you telling me anything, because I'm like, Negro, you done went and cheated. How you going to tell me anything? And y'all, that is so ass backwards.
It's what?
Ass backwards.
Oh, okay. You want to say it again?
No, but I'm sure
for the people in the back. No, I don't want to say it again.
With your cussing spirit. Okay, y'all. We're finding so many couples are having issues because they feel like what their spouse has done is way worse than what they've done. Right? And on the surface, listen, you may be right? Your spouse cheated. You didn't cheat. You know, you may have lied or misspent money or been dismissive or disrespected them or whatever the case may be, right? So on the surface, yes, it looks like that. But the reality is that both parties are wrong. No matter who does what, both parties are wrong.
Yes, ma'am.
That is a character issue when you can't stand in your own funk and say, you know what? I stink. Doesn't matter what you did or didn't do. I stink. This is what I did. That is a massive character issue. And we are just finding that it is just wreaking havoc in relationships. We have to stop comparing. Just like we can't compare sins, we can't compare dirt. We can't compare our flaws with each other.
The number one thing we got to do, or one of the things that we got to do, is become aware. We have to decide to elevate our level of awareness about our stuff stinking. If we don't do that, then we set ourselves up to not be able to grow. So we have to at least take the blinders off and say, okay, let me look at my character. And then surround ourselves with people who are able, that we have allowed to see. I want you to tell me when you see a character flaw. I want to see this, right? Because if I don't, I can't grow as a person. And this cancer will then, so remember, the character cancer is the root cancer. The relational cancers, marriage, work, children, are metastasis, right? That's when the cancer spreads to other areas. So it's no longer just affecting us, because if it's just affecting us, it's still bad, but it's not, right? It's when it starts spreading that it becomes, that's when doctors are like, oh my God, you don't have a long time to live. Like, this is an aggressive form of cancer.
And we actually talked about a lot of the relationship cancers. That's that's the selfishness, the tit for tat, the judging one another, the not being reliable.
Jealous and envy. Feeling entitled.
Yeah.
You know how many men feel entitled about, my wife is supposed to have sex with me. That's her duty.
Yeah.
They feel entitled. Forget how you feel, how tired you are, what's going on with you emotionally, whether you feel connected or not. There is a sense of entitlement. And if we don't increase our level of awareness, that sense of entitlement is going to kill. Is killing. Is a part of those 650 plus thousand marriages, families that are dying every year. So listen, Instagram, we're going to let you go. TikTok, we're going to let you go.
Meet us over.
Thank you for joining us. Come on over to My Marriage is Dope podcast on YouTube.
Appreciate you guys.
And we'll continue there and then jump into Q&A. All right, guys. Always love our TikTok audience and our Instagram audience. They're asking questions. They're very active. So we gotta
self-awareness is key to growth.
We gotta get them to come on over to the dark side, to YouTube.
Yeah, they came over too.
They're coming over. Yeah, they're coming over. What's another way that we can improve this whole cure and treat this character cancer, in your opinion?
How do we treat character cancer? Well, it is number one, understanding that you have to look inward, right? So you have to be aware of how you are contributing, what you are contributing. You have to be aware of your thoughts, your actions, your words, your energy, your facial expressions. And it's so interesting. I was coaching somebody yesterday and I was talking about the 5 aspects of a human being. Mm-hmm. And so, coming to the end of the call, I'm giving him practical tools to use. And he said, so what area do I focus on first? And I was like, you can't just pick one and focus. You have to focus on all of them. And it seems overwhelming, but it's not. You know why? Because life is going to give us so many opportunities, right? So spiritually, you have an opportunity in the morning to pour into yourself spiritually. Boom. Physically, you have an opportunity when you eat to make sure you eat the right things. Right. Boom. Emotionally, you have the opportunity to make sure you connect with your spouse before you leave the house and be kind and make sure your words are, and boom. You understand? So we make it like this big thing, but every opportunity that we have is right there in front of us from the time we wake up to the time we go to sleep.
You know what's interesting? I got to go into my deep bag a little bit, right? When we talk about living consciously, it seems as if we are unable to do what the body does unconsciously. So unconsciously, we are sitting here, we're breathing, our hearts are pumping, whatever digestive processes are going on. Our brain is regulating all of that. We have what they call the parasympathetic nervous system. That's taking care of all of our innards and what have you. Our kidneys are filtering and processing and all that. Liver's working. All that's happening on the inside of our body.
Right.
But when it comes to living spiritually, financially, physically, emotionally, and intellectually, at the same time, we find it difficult. So we feel like we can only focus on one of those areas in a moment when we should be focusing on all of them. All of them should have a part to play in the decisions we make, how we present ourselves to the world, how I interact with you from the time that we go to sleep to when we wake up in the morning. All of those things should start. I should be considering all of those areas now that I'm dealing with you.
Yeah.
Every last one of them.
Yep.
And look, in a moment, not a process. We want to make I'm trying not to curse. We want to make stuff a process.
Yeah.
And it don't have to be a process. It's unnecessarily a process. We should just simply do what we need to do in order to get done what we need to get done. And so when I make a decision, I need to look at those 5 areas of our existence all at the same time while I'm living. And it's not that deep because it's happening already in our body.
It's already happening, yep. One of the other things we need to do, investigate what triggers the patterns and what rewards are you getting from it. I remember a counselor saying, I think it was Renee, she was like, what rewards are you getting from X, Y, and Z? And I was like, nothing. She said, you're getting something because you're doing it. We don't do anything that we're not getting a reward from. Right? And so we have to understand, okay, what is being triggered in me and what am I getting from that? Right? So if I lie, I feel like I'm getting away from being punished or my spouse being not punished, but my spouse being upset for me.
Yeah.
I'm escaping my spouse's wrath. So let me lie. That's the reward. You understand? But so then you have to ask yourself, well, how is that reward serving you?
That's good.
Right? Y'all, you can't just look, boom, here, now, here. You have to look long term. Whatever patterns that you have As my man in Gladiator said, what you do today will echo into eternity.
Echo in eternity.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever patterns you are creating today is echoing in eternity. And whatever patterns you created 10 years ago is playing out right now. It's playing out right now. Y'all have to be intentional about your life, man. You have to be intentional about your character. Your character is the foundation of everything. And your character is your character, period. It doesn't matter what your spouse does or does not do. It is simply, this is who I am. That's it.
Come on, Coach.
I'm done.
Come on, Coach. That's good. 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 Listen, make sure that you listen and share this. While you on your phone, you can do multiple. You can walk and chew gum at the same time. Share this with somebody who you know need it. Share it with your spouse. Share it with your mama, your daddy. You know your mama and daddy sleeping in separate bedrooms.
And listen, let me say this about your mama and daddy. In order to get rid of certain character cancers, sometimes you have to disconnect from
your mama and your daddy.
Certain character cancers. Okay? You gotta rip people out of your life who are not serving you. They're talking negative about your spouse. I don't care how ugly your spouse is. If you're choosing to stay with them, don't let nobody talk about them. And you stop talking negatively about them.
I had cancer in my lung. And the doctor, as mean as he was like, we got to get that out. We have to cut that out. Else it's going to spread. And you can't afford for it to possibly spread. And so, that's deep. Being able to cut what appears to be the most important people out of your life. That's a hard concept for people to wrap their minds around.
It's very hard. Setting boundaries for your family and your friends, man, that's one of the hardest things for people to do. One of the hardest things.
Yeah.
But it's necessary.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's necessary. And my thing is this. What do you want your life to look like at the end of the day? When you lay your head on your pillow, do you want to be riddled with a million thoughts going through your mind because you're not at peace? You can't sleep. You're tossing and turning. Or do you want to be at peace? Doing the hard thing will give you the peace that you're looking for sometimes.
And there's people struggling with that. They're going into work and they are presenting themselves to the world. We wonder why people go postal. Yeah. Right? There's some people, we wonder why the suicide rate is so high. We wonder why the divorce rate is so high. Yeah. We wonder why alcoholism and drug addiction and pornography addiction and gambling addiction is at such high rates. Yeah. It's because people are not able to wrap their mind around what you just described. Like you might, as hard and as difficult as it might seem, you might have to cut your mama out your life because she is just so toxic. She brings such negativity to your life.
Dogging your wife out, dogging your husband out, telling you how to raise
dogging
your kids.
You out.
Dogging you out. Right.
Not allowing you to grow and experience life in ways that best serve you.
Right. And then so you take that energy, that anger energy, and you place it on the person closest to you, which is the one who you're sleeping next to. Come on.
Wow. Listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
Woo! Bring them out.
We got this Q&A section. Bring them out, baby girl. Ask Shannon and Shirley. Remember, the key is to this question and answer segment is I do not know the questions. And so only Coach Shirley knows the questions. And listen, if you have a question live here in the chat, drop your question, and then we'd like to pull some questions from the chat as well. So get your questions ready, get it typed in, and if you have to type it again, Feel free to type it again so we can get to it. All right, let's go.
There are certain qualities about my husband that has not been healthy for our union. I have the patience to work with him, and I know he loves me just as deeply as I love him. The problem is he doesn't see it as a problem per se. He knows certain behaviors are not helping us, but he is definitive in his belief that it's who he is, and I should demonstrate more patience than trying to change, quote unquote, who he is. Please share helpful advice. Listen, that whole "this is just who I am" is killing us, right? We just talked about character cancers. And a lot of these character cancers are ingrained in us. And so it's not serving us. It's cancer. It's not serving us. So yes, it may be who I am to be a judgmental person, to be harsh at the tongue, to whatever, to lie. It may be that's a part of me. But is it serving me? Listen, why do I want to be in a relationship when the things that I do not draw us closer? You know, we keep it a buck with y'all. You know, I said to Shannon today, when we were riding in the car, and I was like, think about what you're doing. How is that working for you? If it's not drawing us closer, why do you continue to do it? That just don't make no doggone sense. And this is the thing. When we continue to do the things that our spouse is asking us not to do, you're telling your spouse, I don't care about how you feel. That's what you're telling your spouse. So as your husband is saying to you, this is who I am, he has to understand that who he is not serving you guys. Listen, you're the one that asked the question. He didn't ask the question. So it's not much you can do, but I will say, do this. I will say, go to your husband and let your husband know how what he is doing is causing you to feel and how it's causing you to not want to be close to him, right? And don't do it with an attitude or nothing. Just like, honey, like my deepest desire is to be close to you. And this is how I feel like about Shannon. I don't know, my older age or whatever, I just so want to I just adore him so much more than I ever have. And I just want to be close to him. And it hurts so bad when you do X, Y, and Z because it pushes me away. Just tell him that. Just come out and share your heart with him and ask him, you know, are you willing to look into this and to see where I'm coming from? And we work on this, right? I said we, right? Even though it's him, right? Because you want to make the space as safe as possible and for him not to feel like you just pointing the fingers at him, because when people are unhealthy, a lot of times that's what they go to, right? So say, are you willing for us to work on this together? And see what he says. What do you have to say about it?
I have, what I want to say about this is for her to gird her loins, like to prepare herself. The reason why I say that is because there are some things that you were trying to get me to understand about you that only 2 cancer diagnoses and a congestive heart failure diagnosis revealed to me. Those quiet times in a bed by myself. Those times when they wheeled me past you and you said, you know, see you on the other side, babe, and I was going into for a procedure or a surgery or a this or a that. It was in those moments that I was able to come to some conclusions about who I was, the type of husband and father I had been, who I am to you, all of that. It didn't come until then. And so I've said this, you've heard me say this a ton of times, that God has a way of humbling you. God has a way of using life, and God is no respecter of persons. I don't care who God, Allah, Buddha, like whatever you believe, God is no respecter. The great architect of this universe is no respecter of persons. That being will do whatever they need to do to get your attention. And if that means sickness in your body, does that mean you losing everything financially? If that means something happening to someone else, one of your children or whatever, to get you to understand some of these fundamental flawed character cancer concepts, he will do it. I believe it. And so we have to have the patience and the courage to allow the universe to do that in our spouses. I remember when Shirley was going through her go-through, I was like, Lord, please leave her alone. She's got it. She got enough. She's had enough. And she just was going through it and going through it and going through it. And to the point, at first I was like, see. And then I was like, ooh. You know how you see your sibling getting a spanking and it's like, that's enough. Ooh, that's enough. Ooh. Okay, daddy, mommy and daddy, they got it. They won't do it no more. Right? And so she, in addition to the advice that you gave her, she has to prepare herself, because the universe will get his attention one way or the other.
God will get his attention, yep.
God, well, I believe in God, but I'm trying to be politically correct. But God will get his attention. Yes.
Yep, so we keep hearing that guys are designed to want sex. If that's the case, why would it benefit me as a mature woman who knows what I want to not share that part of me with him? This question is based on you saying not to have sex before marriage. They must
I'm
have
not
heard
answering
us.
that question. We can move on to the next question. I'm not answering that question.
Ooh, he's not answering that question.
That's a single question. This is my Marriage is Dope podcast. I don't know what to tell that person. They trying to have sex. Well, no, go ahead. Go back to it.
Why would it be?
Keep hearing. It doesn't benefit you.
She says she's mature and she knows what she wants.
That doesn't matter.
And she said, we keep hearing that guys, see, she's listening to all the noise on social media. Guys are designed to want sex, which
we are designed to want sex
that way.
Within the marriage, within the context of the marriage relationship. That's when it should happen. Just because it's by design doesn't mean that it should happen before it's designed to happen. Right. When it happens outside of that design, it's disastrous.
Yep. Holidays are approaching and I'm having anxiety. Family is coming to our home this year for Thanksgiving and my mother-in-law is coming. She will be here a total of 10 days, which that decision was made without my input. She is not a monster-in-law, but she is a meddler. She likes to tell me how to raise our children and my husband does not back me up, which makes it so much worse. I don't want to come off as rude or mean and then put my husband, she's an S, and then put my husband in an awkward position. So I eat it, but it affects me. She's sweet, but doesn't have boundaries. She is such a high S. Yeah, she's sweet, but doesn't have boundaries. And that's how she ended. I guess she wants to know what can she do.
I'm going to tell you what I would tell her to do. I would tell her before the holiday time approaches for her visit to call mom and have a conversation and tell her how she feels. I love you dearly, mother, and you are so amazing, and I wouldn't want to have another mother-in-law. But these are my challenges, and I don't want to be rude to you. I don't want to be disrespectful at all. But sometimes what you have to say about me and my household, it grinds my gears. And so if we could just keep it light and and just, let's not even get into those types of conversations. It would be, I think we would have an outstanding visit. If that's not something that you can do, stay your ass at home. If you don't think that you can keep those types of
the elderly like that.
Yeah, no.
Talking to mama like that.
Well, you don't have to say ass. You can say, keep your,
That was good advice though, man.
Just have a conversation before it gets into the heat of the moment.
Yeah, be honest. Now,
be honest.
What does she do about her husband? Because that's a challenge too. Because listen, if he doesn't back her up in this, that means that's not a part of him. He's not backing her up in other things.
Same thing applies. You got to have a conversation. Hey, man, I feel abandoned by you. I feel like that there are times that you are the most amazing husband, and I feel then there are times when it's uncomfortable for you, you retreat. And it makes me lose respect for you. I still treat you kindly and respectfully, but it's eroding my respect for you.
Good, baby.
And I need you to show up and step up and be the man that is going to protect me in every aspect, not just financially, not just physically, but it also protect my emotions.
Good. Come on, Shannon.
Well, this is what I do. This is
what you do, boo.
I do this. After this one, we're gonna jump into the comments and grab questions from there.
All right. I am engaged, and my fiance says she does not want my bachelor party to have any strippers.
Yes.
Well, my boys planned it, and I told them what she said. They said it would be too much to change all the reservations. Do I know my girl would be upset? Yes. But since it can't be changed, you think I'd be wrong to go? Should I tell her or not say anything?
He better not go.
Better not go, bro.
You better not go. You know what I did for my bachelor party? I didn't have a bachelor
went
party.
To shoot pool.
In my first marriage. What I did for my bachelor party, didn't nobody take me nowhere for our bachelor for me, babe. That's a shame. I ain't had no friends. That's funny. But
the way we did it, though.
Yeah,
Come on, the way we did it.
Anyway.
Yeah.
No, we planned it. That was planned.
No, honey. We went to the JOP.
No,
then
I'm talking about
the other one was planned like all the way up north. You didn't really know.
Still, my boys knew.
Come on.
Carl knew. All of them knew. They didn't have nothing planned for me. Anyway, but my when I first got married, my first marriage, I played table tennis. I was stationed at Walter Reed Army Medical Center. I went up into this recreation area, and a friend of mine played table tennis with me. Some of the boys wanted to take me to what they call the nudie hoes, but I'm like, I'm about to get married, man. Why am I? I don't need no last hurrah. I don't have no hurrahs. My hurrahs are done. I don't need that. And so, they were, and none of them were at the wedding anyway. So. One of them, the guy who I played table tennis with, he was in the wedding, but none of the other guys came, and that was just an opportunity for them to turn up.
Yeah.
And so I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And so you got to put your foot down. How do you want to go into your marriage? Do you want to go into your marriage lying? Is that the foundation you want to set? Bearing false witness, not doing, saying you're going to do one thing and do another? Because that's how you're going to be wondering why 1, 2, 3 years into your marriage, you're already getting disrespect.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, that it just made me think, your question made me think about the character cancers that you have, that you need to deal with, because it is going to affect your marriage. Not telling her, so she doesn't know, but you know, right? So that's hiding. Like, I mean,
you're starting the thing
off wrong, bro. You don't even have enough courage to be like, yo, bro, I told you my girl didn't want strippers. So if y'all lose money, that's on y'all.
Y'all can go to the strippers.
So y'all can go.
But I won't be there.
Or
y'all
change it and we can go somewhere else. But right. I'm not going to be there. Like, stand 10 toes down. This is your woman, dude. What are you doing? So your boys, how they feel, and that takes precedence over her? Come on.
One of these kids is doing his own thing.
I wouldn't even marry you, dude.
One of these kids just gotta be wrong. I would not
marry you. I wouldn't. I don't know if you're ready for marriage, bro.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. All right, let's jump in. Put your glasses on. Can you see that?
Put my glasses on.
You know you're blind as a bat.
I was trying to do the scroll. Is there a separate section? We are making a choice every day. Yep. Yes, D. Rich, is there a separate section to ask a...
No, you ask your question right here.
To ask...
Put it in the chat.
I don't know if he's talking about
Hassan.
a private
question. Right, there's no private questions. You got to put it in the chat.
Hassan, if it's private, you can
DM us on Instagram or email it to info@marriageinc.com. You got to do it us. You got to do it right now, though, because we want to get it in here.
I had to learn that sometimes when you can't get through to my spouse, I prayed, and yep.
You don't have to read every one of the...
When is the next masterclass? The masterclass starts Monday. So it's the next 4 Mondays.
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
This is going to be crazy, you guys. You know, we're not trying to do a bunch of selling. If you need to be in the building, you need to be in the building. It's the link is pinned at the comments. But we want to end the year, and we're going to do this annually, end the year with a master class that allows you to go into the next year on fire in your marriage, on absolute fire. And so marriagemasterclass.us.us is the URL, and we looking forward to you all being in that place. Anyway, listen, if there are no more questions that you guys have,
scroll to the bottom.
Yep, there are no more questions that you guys have. We thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
For another edition of My Marriage is Dope podcast. Listen, stay connected. Remember, our website is marriageinc.us.us. The masterclass is coming up. Marriagemasterclass.us. And then just make sure you're staying connected. You like and subscribe. You're a subscriber, so you can get, and make sure you hit the bell notification so you can get that notification when we are on and popping. Listen, thank you guys so much.
Yes.
Once again, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.